Okay, so in this video, guys and girls, whoever's watching my videos, I'm going to explain, how to understand the psychology of porn addiction, so you can overcome it and overcome your social anxiety. And I'll explain how the two go together in a negative way. Then I'll explain how you can overcome it. I'm going to give you lots of tips, and they're all from my real practical experience, which is the most important thing, really. This is not theory I'm sharing. Theory is when you don't actually know it in fact, you don't actually know it in reality. You just have these theories, but if you don't actually apply your theories and test them in the real world, then they don't really hold much value, because you don't know if they work or not. So obviously when I share my experiences with you, it's your choice to go out and try it for yourself and make it your own experience, because that's another trap that people fall into. They watch a lot of videos and they learn from other people's experiences, but they don't apply the things. They don't apply the things that people share with them. So really, as much as it's real for someone else, it's not real for you yet. By the way, subscribe to this channel if you're enjoying the videos. Please like and share. So a lot of questions over the years, things like, does porn cause social anxiety, and how do you overcome porn addiction, and some new discoveries that I found. So let me explain. So basically, with pornography, let's just say, depending on what you believe in, from a moral standpoint, some people will believe it's wrong, right? I believe it's wrong from a moral standpoint, but some people might not believe that, right? That's fair enough. But if you was just to take the moral standpoint from pornography out of the equation just for a second, so I can stress this point. If you just say, okay, I'm not going to judge it on whether it's right or wrong, the very act of watching porn and masturbating to pornography, but I'm going to look at the negative effects it has in my life, or does it have any positive effects? Let me explain. So if you're someone that's got social anxiety, like I've had for many years, and you don't find it that easy to motivate yourself to go and meet people because of the anxiety. Like, the anxiety makes it very stressful for you in social situations, and that could be going to the doctors for a doctor's appointment, or the hospital. That could be speaking on the phone. That could be meeting up with your family, your loved ones. That could be meeting friends. It could be making new friends. It could be your everyday interactions, going out, going to a supermarket, having to make eye contact and engage with people and speak to people. All those different social situations that everybody has to face at some point. Now, if all those things are really difficult for you and they're very frightening and intimidating, watching porn as a substitute for your happiness, which you'd naturally get if you used to face your social fears and put yourself in those situations and keep doing it. And that's the key I want to stress in this, right? You've heard me say it in many of my videos. I've overcome social anxiety quite a few times in my life. And I mean, I'm just assuming some people might be confused, because they're like, well, why does it come back? Well, the reason it comes back, what I've found why mine has come back, is because it's like anything in life. If you don't practice something for a long time, and initially it was a problem for you, then it's going to start coming back, because social anxiety is a learnt behaviour. I'm pretty confident in saying that, and it is a thought pattern, and it can be in a biological response, a psychological response. So when I was practicing, meeting up with people regularly and doing public talks and working and dating and going around my family, and I was going to events and I was meeting new people and making YouTube videos and doing interviews, when I was doing that consistently, I built up so much momentum. I built up so much confidence from that momentum of doing it over and over again, and eventually it wasn't that scary anymore. The fear turned to excitement. And what happened to me was, through that momentum, through that practice, through that exposure therapy, I just forgot about my porn addiction, and that's how I overcome it. And when I say I forgot about it, I don't just mean I sat down one day and just forgot and it went. No, I got so busy socializing and facing that fear that I started to enjoy it. As I said, look, fear's a funny thing. Fear can be horrible. Fear can make your life a misery. Certain fears I've had have made me feel physically sick, nauseous, pass out. But if you face a fear and you keep facing it, eventually you will come to a breakthrough. And the breakthrough is you will have a positive experience. You will have a moment, maybe some kind of realization or understanding where you go, hang on a minute, I can do this. I was scared of this for many years. I was avoiding this. I had all kinds of psychological negative ideas attached to this very fear. And here I am, right in the center of it, and I'm surviving, and I can smile and I can feel my confidence. I can actually handle this. When you have that realization, I believe that's the very thing that helps a person to beat their porn addiction. Because porn addiction, the psychology of it is, it's a replacement for the real thing. It's something that blocks you. So when you unblock porn from your life and you start going in and socializing with people, like I said, the anxiety isn't going to last forever. At the start, yeah, and of course, there are going to be negative experiences. We can't bypass that. It's life. So I'm not going to come on and say everything's going to work out all in a row. It's never going to be like that. It wasn't like that for me. So there are going to be times, I've had loads of them, where you do get socially anxious and you do fail and you do feel bad about yourself, or you feel some guilt or some shame or frustration, and you feel like, I wasn't myself in that social situation. I was a bit awkward. I couldn't hold eye contact. I wasn't really able to relax, and you come away from that situation, you think, I'm failing. I'm not good at this. I'm never going to overcome it. So of course you go through those things, but that's when you've got to push yourself and say, no, hang on a minute. Tomorrow's another day. Just see the time. Oh, that's great. I'm trying to keep the videos, I don't want to make these videos any longer than 12 or 15 minutes because it's too long to edit. So you say to yourself, okay, let's regroup, back to the drawing board. Today I failed. I was anxious. I didn't feel good around whoever I was around, family, friends, new people, on a date, or on a phone, on a job interview, or going to the doctors, or or in the gym. All these different social situations or social areas or domains. You say to yourself, do you know what? Next time I'm going to do better. Next time I'm going to remember, I'm going to learn how to act a little bit better and more confidently next time. So that's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to get tongue-tied. I'm not going to start looking down when someone's looking at me and getting awkward eye contact time. I'm not going to allow the feeling of anxiety and fight or flight adrenaline to paralyze me into just being silent and not being able to perform, or running out of social situations prematurely. I'm not going to let that happen. Whatever your mistake is, and it's all subjective, wherever you feel you messed up, like I said, whether it's not holding eye contact, not expressing yourself, sometimes people pleasing, agreeing with people when you don't actually agree with them because you're scared to stand up for yourself and to say, no, I don't agree on that, or maybe you're afraid to ask someone out, or afraid to be more vulnerable, or just afraid to enjoy the moment. And that's another thing. I said to myself, you know what, next time I go to the, because I remember going to the doctor's appointment, was it a few months ago, and I felt quite nervous and uptight about going and anxious. I just didn't feel like it, and I went, and I felt that I was nervous, and it kind of got to me a bit, right? Because like most of you, I'm human, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I like to feel comfortable and be myself around people and feel good about who I am. So I didn't feel that it went well, so I said, you know, the next appointment I go, I'm going to do better this time. I'm going to smile, I'm going to talk to the nurses, I'm going to engage, I'm going to be friendly. And that's what happened. I went again recently and I didn't have the anxiety. I overcome it. I felt great. So I overcome the social anxiety. So there are periods where you overcome the anxiety, you beat it, you can perform, you can be yourself, you can be socially free. And then there are going to be times where it does beat you. So even when you've gotten over it per se, you're still going to have moments where it's going to come back, right? I've said this in videos before, and people might be surprised because when they see someone doing public talks, making YouTube videos, being confident, doing, teaching or speaking, or especially when they see you, talking in front of a camera, people can automatically assume, oh, that person's different to me. They don't have social anxiety. I couldn't do that. But what you've got to realise is that they do have social anxiety. They've just been managing it better than you have. They're taking more action. So basically, my conclusion coming back to pornography addiction, how to overcome it, you have to go and basically, to overcome porn, you've got to face your fears and demons so you can get to your end goal in life, and I'll explain that. So let's say, for example, someone is watching pornography excessively because they don't think they're good enough to make friends, right? And they're afraid in case people reject them, right? So you have to actually go out and face that fear and go to events, or however you can, find a community online or offline, or make phone calls or WhatsApp someone, or go to an actual event that they're holding. You have to do that and push past those fears until you actually have a positive breakthrough, and then you make a friend, you meet someone. That's the best feeling in the world, when you meet a person and you both feel comfortable around each other, and there's no fear, no anxiety, and then that gives you so much confidence. I've always said building relationships is probably the best therapy for healing trauma and overcoming addiction, and many intelligent people have come to that understanding. So you really have to have the intelligence to know what you're missing out on. Whereas if you can't face the fear at the moment, fair enough, but you're going to continue to have a porn addiction, because the porn addiction is always going to be a replacement for human connection, or it's always going to be something that you go to when you can't deal with fear and stress. So as I said, you've got to be patient, you've got to keep going with this, not quit. That's why I make a lot of videos on this. People say, why do you keep making videos on porn addiction? Well, I've said before, because it's not an overnight quick fix. It's not something that most people can just beat in one day. Same as social anxiety. It took me many, many years to overcome it. And then when I got depressed and had a breakdown, and I didn't socialize for quite a few years. I was quite socially recluse because I was depressed. It came back again, and I've had to start overcoming it again. But you can be sure as hell, if you take action and I remember hearing Tyson Fury speak about it the other day. He said, a boxer has to be active. When a boxer is fighting regularly and is building that momentum, they perform to the best of their ability. But if they're not fighting regularly and they get in with someone who's pound for pound champion, the likelihood is they're going to get battered, they're going to lose. Or if they fight someone good. So the boxing analogy, even Fury said it, it's the same in life. If you don't do something regularly, speak in front of the camera, meeting people, phone calls, work, fitness, dieting, if you don't do it regularly, you will not be the best that you can be at it. You will not have that confidence. But the good thing is, anyone can build that confidence and overcome a porn addiction. So you break the porn addiction, you overcome pornography addiction by facing the thing that you're avoiding. And for most part, it's social fear. It's relationship, same thing. People got relationship fears, or they've got trust issues, or they're scared to make friends, scared to be vulnerable, scared to open up. It's all in that area. Social anxiety kind of contributes to all that area, all those fears. So fears of being rejected, fears of not being good enough, fears of trusting, fears of opening up. Social anxiety is a result of those fears. So when you understand your deep fears, and when you understand that a lot of it's irrational, that there's nothing to worry about, when you dive in and you commit with a good attitude, as long as you treat people the way you want to be treated, and you're honest, you're a decent person, things will work out even quicker for you, and you will meet somebody, and you will get better at controlling that fear. And then once you can control the fear, once you can feel good around people, once you can enjoy being around people, once social anxiety no longer controls you or ruins your life, it's so much easier then to let go of porn, because then you get a real relationship, whether it's a romantic friendship, and then you can go on and be a better person, all right? So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Become fearless, and also enjoy the process, and let me know your thoughts and feelings in the box below. And if this really helped you, that my life experience gave you a lot of confidence and it helped you to understand how you can overcome it, all right?